If I could ask a couple, first of all, what did you do yesterday with the family, and how good is it to have those kind of couple of days that you've had over the last week, where you can? Is it beneficial to the squad that can happen this time compared to the Euros?
Yeah, definitely. I think yesterday was just a chilled day. Obviously, I've got my little newborn out here with me, so was able to spend the day with him, which was really special, and obviously get to see my family as well, which was great. And yeah, it's nice. I think we've got that real balance right, of not seeing our families the whole time. So when we do see them, it is really special. Obviously, we've still got to be careful with COVID and things like that. Obviously, we don't want any mistakes happening, anyone putting up with COVID. But it's really nice to break it up yesterday and see the family. I think it was a real nice time to do it, especially after the Wales win.
And I think we spoke to Aaron Ramsdale. He said that early in the tournament, penalties were without keepers in practice. Are the keepers in yet, and does that make a difference?
Yeah, definitely. I think for the first couple of weeks we've been using the skills net, where it's like they're free, the sections of the goal are not covered in the top halves of the goal and the bottom halves. And I think now the keepers will start to come into play. Obviously, them nets are, just to pick your penalty, pick your spot, and get your breathing techniques right. Obviously, we have a psychologist with us who tells us the best way to calm down before your penalties. So yeah, look, we're really practicing, and now the keepers will come in. So obviously, it's another step up, another psychological test.
Is it the timing as well per penalty? Like how much time?
Definitely. I feel like everyone's got a different technique, different run up. It's more about how you compose yourself in the moment, and have a clear breath, clear mind, and hopefully you can put the penalty away.
Declan, Dave Kidd from The Sun. West Ham fans always said it was West Ham who won the World Cup in 1966. I assume you're pretty aware of that. Yeah. The statue of the three of them and all that kind of stuff. Have you met Geoff Hurst and talked about that? And are you aware of that whole West Ham thing with 66?
Yeah, I met Sir Geoff for the first time actually last year at the Euros. He interviewed me. At the Euros he interviewed me for the first time, and he's a great guy. Obviously scored the hat trick in the final, and like you said, the West Ham fans have never let that down. They've won the World Cup, so that hopefully I can be one of the next ones for West Ham fans to say that about.
Can I just ask you about Chesney Hawkes? I saw you cuddling him the other day. Did you even know who he was? You seemed too young to remember all that. But
no, do you know what? I knew the song, but I actually didn't know who he was. That's me speaking honestly right now. But then after, he had a really familiar face. So when I see him, it's actually funny. I walked into the change room, one of the kitmen went, Chesney Hawkes is outside with your shirt on. I was like, I don't know who he is. He was like, what? And then I see him, he had the Rice shirt on. And then after the game, I went and spoke to him, gave him a hug. And I heard he performed at half time, and that was really good. So yeah, me and Chesney are pals now. Is
he going to be a lucky mascot now for the rest of the...
Yeah, I hope so. We've got to get into the games. We obviously won comfortably the other night with him there, so we'll get him singing the one and only at every half-time, and hopefully we get it back to number one as well.
Dec, hi. Dec over here.
Sorry.
Henry Winter from The Times. Hi. Dec, we've seen in World Cups over the years that the importance of an anchorman, whether it's a Kante, whether it's a Busquets, we've seen it since time immemorial. Do you think that role is absolutely key, and the way you play it, particularly with England, if Harry Maguire steps into midfield, you drop back there as well? It's a very important role for England, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive role, and Gareth's put real emphasis on that for me. I think you see me at club, I play as like a box-to-box midfielder now in a way, where I can free roam, I can go anywhere I want, and I can drop back, I can go in the box, but I'm also obviously in the same defensive positions. But England, there's a massive emphasis on me, being in the middle of the pitch, having that conversation with Gareth and Steve. I'm not going to go out on the pitch and do opposite to what they're telling me to do. I'm going to go out there and do what the manager says, because we're at a World Cup and that's what's best for the team. So, yeah, I think it's really important that I'm doing what they say. That's being in front of the back four, being that central connection, letting our attacking players go and flourish, being there to stop the counter-attacks, and of course having that good connection with the back four. So look, I'm really learning on the job, because every time I come to England I'm always playing this role, and I don't really play that role for West Ham. Obviously I can play it. So yeah, every time I come here I'm learning on the job, and I'm feeling more and more comfortable every time I do it.
Hi Declan, Jacob Steinberg from The Guardian. If you go back over your time with England, maybe two of the biggest disappointments, defeats would be Holland in the Nations League in 2019. You played against someone like De Jong, who's the kind of midfielder who can take a game away from you. And then the final last year, Jorginho and Verratti, the control they had. What do you take from those two experiences? Do you feel more confident that you're able to handle that more as a team? Has playing in Europe as well with West Ham maybe prepared you more for that? Yeah,
I think, look, of course, when you play against the better nations, of course, they're always going to have top midfield players. They're going to have players who can control games, and it's about us how we can counteract that. Of course, we played Italy in the final, and they had an extra man in midfield that day because we set up with a back five, so it was always kind of hard to get the pressure on the ball. It was always hard to get up to the ball because then they'd just pop it off and they'd get you out of your slot. So it's about, again, learning and, kind of being that coach on the pitch yourself, realising how you can do better. And of course, my time against De Jong, I was really young then. I think I was only 19, but I said at the time he was a really special player, and he's gone on to flourish throughout his career. And if I want to be one of the best personally, I need to test myself against these best midfield players. And us as a central midfield group in England, if we want to be one of the best as well, we need to put ourselves up and win midfield battles.
I just wanted to ask you as well about Mason Mount. If you look at social media, you can get fooled into thinking that he's not a good player. You know him better than probably most footballers in the world. So what are people missing with him?
Look, I don't need to talk too much about Mace. I think he probably just doesn't fit me speaking honestly, he doesn't fit the agenda of what people want an attacking midfielder to look like this day and age. He's one of the best players I've played with. I'm not just saying that because he's my best mate, but if you see the way he helps the team, I think that's why Gareth's so keen on him and picks him all the time. Not only with the ball, his quality, which he shows in abundance for England and Chelsea, the way he is off the ball, you don't see many number 10s who have that together. And I think he's just such a team player, such a hard-working, honest guy. And sometimes, fans, people online, social media, they just don't like him. For what reason, I don't honestly know. But look, his numbers for Chelsea are incredible. He's obviously won the Champions League, won the Super Cup at such a young age. And for the rest of his career, he can go on and be whatever he wants to be. And I know he doesn't let that noise get to him. So, look, let Mace go and do his thing. When he's doing that, it makes me happy seeing, my good friend, go and perform at the best level.
Okay, we've got time for two more, starting with Neil Squires.
Hi, Declan. You referenced earlier watching the games by the pool and playing some games with the rest of the team. Can you just give us an insight into what you get up to and who's dominating the games, what they are?
Yeah, no, we've been speaking about it with England. We've been playing this card game called Wolf, and it's about being basically you've got to be the best liar, and basically the villagers have got to snuff out the wolves, and the wolves have basically got to lie and tell everyone why they're not a wolf. Connor Cody's the narrator, so he talks around it and then all the lads have a big discussion on who they think's the wolf, who's not. There's a lot of teamwork ganging up now. Now we've been playing for quite a while, and then at the end of every round you get a vote on who you think it is. So that's been really good. When the Wolves win as well, they do the wolf sound and everything, so it's brilliant. And yeah, just been watching the games, getting treatment. Obviously, it's been good because there's been games, every 2 hours throughout the day. So lads been getting treatment, getting in the pool. The games have been on. So look, it's been really refreshing.
Mark Douglas from the Eye. You've got through the group stages without Harry Kane scoring yet. It must be, obviously, I'm assuming his mood's pretty good, but also how great is it to think that he could come alive in the knockout stages as well?
Yeah, I don't think we should ever doubt Harry. His goal scoring record speaks for itself. What he's done for England, the goals he's scored speaks for itself. I think if you look I think he's 2 assists now. The goal against Iran for Sterling and the other one the other night for Phil. He's just showing his qualities. He's obviously kind of adapted his role now where he likes to drop in a lot more and link the play, and I think that's where it's good, where we have fast runners, going in. But look, we're all rooting for him to score. He's our captain, and him scoring, getting on top form, that's what we need. And I'm sure, he'll score in these knockout stages now.
Thanks to everybody. We've got to get Declan to training, so we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for your time today.
See you later. Yeah.